Hey guys, it's Thursday, which means it's time for another video. This is a request from my last review of Shocker. If you haven't seen that review, you should check it out. I got asked to review Silent Night, Deadly Night, and this is a movie that I'm surprised I haven't reviewed before in the past, just because it's probably one of the more popular Christmas horror films, and it's kind of around this time of year, so it's actually a perfect time to review Silent Night, Deadly Night. Yes, it's not December yet, but to me, it's close to Christmas time because it's Thanksgiving next week, and after Thanksgiving, that's when like Christmas and stuff starts happening. But yes, in the background you can see it's a Silent Night Deadly Night Part 2 poster. That was from Scream Factory. That's actually my fiance's. He has the Blu-ray of Silent Night Deadly Night Part 2 from Scream Factory. And he also has the Ricky figure from that movie that NECA made and the Billy figure. But he got the Billy figure at a convention, not with the Blu-ray, so we don't have the Blu-ray, surprisingly, not yet, but we both have the DVD of it. I just don't have it with me right now. It's in a different area of my place, so I don't have it. I'd have to look for it. But Silent Night, Deadly Night is probably the most controversial, besides like Cannibal Holocaust and stuff like that. To me, this is a very controversial horror film, and it's not really that. It's good, don't get me wrong, but the fact that it's a person dressed up as Santa killing people, back then it sparked a lot of outrage from parents of children, obviously parents of children, but sparked a lot of outrage from parents, and they actually were protesting like outside of movie theaters and stuff. And you can watch like numerous horror documentaries. There's one called that I really like personally that you should check out called Going to Pieces: The Rise and Fall of a Slasher Film, and they actually talk a little bit about Silent Night, Deadly Night, and they show like clips from like back then of like parents on the phone trying to get the movie pulled, and they actually managed to get the movie pulled from theaters, which probably affected it a little bit more, but also made it more sought after because there's people that wanted to see this movie probably back then, and then all of a sudden they couldn't, so they really wanted to see it more because they thought, oh, if that movie got pulled, it's probably hardcore. And it's a very good slash, like, it's one that I love to watch during Christmas time, that like Black Christmas. But I don't understand why there's like an outrage like back then, because there were movies, and there's one that I'm gonna mention. It's my favorite Christmas horror film of all time, and that's Christmas Evil. That movie came out 4 years prior to Silent Night, Deadly Night, and nobody really gave a shit when it came to that so much. Like nobody ever got out, or no parents got outraged by that movie. But Silent Night, Deadly Night comes out, and it's like the end of the world, and now there's like Killer Santa movies, and you never see anything like that. So it was like very different back in the 80s, because now parents aren't gonna be, I don't see any parents doing that now. Like they loosely remade Silent Night, Deadly Night with 2012 Silent Night, and that movie didn't spark an outrage either. So I think it's just a time period then. But I'm going way off. I'm just kind of talking about the why the movie got pulled and all that. But I'm kind of going way off topic. If you don't know Silent Night, Deadly Night, I feel like everyone has. A kid, he witnesses his parents get murdered. Well, his mom gets raped and murdered. And then him and his little brother are the only last survivors, so they get sent to an orphanage. And the mother superior, she's obviously like the leader, she catches like Billy doing naughty things, and eventually you go farther along, and then he's older and he's working in a toy store, and the owners make him dress up as Santa and make the kids sit on his lap and stuff, which is like very traumatizing for him, because turns out when he was younger and saw his parents get murdered, it was a guy dressed up as Santa, so he is very traumatized by that experience. And if you can't really tell by the title. He basically snaps and then starts killing people in the Santa suit, and it's very, very crazy. Like, there's decapitations. Linnea Quigley makes an appearance in the movie. If you don't know who Linnea Quigley is, she was in a bunch of 80s horror films like Return of the Living Dead, Night of the Demons, Graduation Day, just to name a few. She gets impaled with deer antlers. So definitely one of the more creative kills. It's just a slasher film then, and he eventually dies, and then you pick up after the second one, and that's obviously not Billy, that is Ricky, that's his brother, which that movie is like one of those so bad it's good. And if you don't really want to watch Silent Night, Deadly Night, you can watch Silent Night, Deadly Night too, because they basically, majority of that film is stock footage, so they basically, Ricky narrates the whole, like, first movie, so with some scenes from the second. So that's another ball game though. I haven't seen any of the other sequels though, like 3, 4, and 5. I hadn't seen those, but I've seen the 2012 remake. But yeah, that's my review of Silent Night, Deadly Night. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more reviews, podcasts, fan films. Just comment down below what movie you want me to review next, and I'll be sure to get to it as soon as possible. But in the meantime, I'll see you guys on Monday.